Welcome to Cody Yellowstone Uncovered, a podcast dedicated to exploring the best of Wyoming's Yellowstone country. Ready? Let's go.
Welcome back to Cody Yellowstone Uncovered. We got a great episode for you today.
We really do, and it is entirely focused on a very specific, very exciting date.
Right. Because, most people assume that peak summer is the only time to visit Yellowstone.
Right, July and August.
Exactly. But biologically, and even geologically, the park actually just explodes into life weeks before those massive summer crowds even arrive.
It's a completely different world in the spring.
It is. So today, we are giving you the ultimate blueprint for a phenomenal spring trip to Cody Yellowstone.
Covering everything from the drive-in to the wildlife to the lodging.
Yeah, I like to think of this shoulder season trip as like a VIP early access pass to the world's original national park.
A VIP pass. I love that description.
Because you get to imagine having this massive, vast wilderness almost entirely to yourself.
You really do. And May 1st, 2026 is the highly anticipated scheduled opening of the East Entrance.
Which basically flips the switch on the whole adventure season.
It really does. The whole landscape is crisp, it's freshly unwrapped, and the energy is just incredible.
But, before you can actually explore the park, you have to get there.
You do have to get there, yes.
And the journey from downtown Cody is honestly an adventure in itself. It starts with a very specific local tradition.
Oh, the breakfast tradition. You cannot skip this.
No, absolutely not. So on the morning of your trip, you want to start right at the Cody Country Chamber of Commerce.
Right there at 836 Sheridan Avenue.
Yep, 836 Sheridan Avenue. They host the annual Park and Pancakes breakfast.
Which is just the best way to kick off the season.
I mean, free pancakes, bacon, fruit, fresh coffee. You really need to fuel up.
You do. And it's not just about the food, though the food is great. It's the community,
Right. Everyone is buzzing with excitement.
Exactly. You're standing there with locals and visitors, and everyone is just thrilled that the gate is opening.
So you finish your pancakes, you grab a coffee for the road, and you start the drive.
The 52-mile drive west from downtown Cody to the East Gate.
Along the East Yellowstone Loop. Now let's talk about this drive for a second.
Okay, let's do it.
Because a 52-mile drive, a lot of people might just look at that as a commute,
Well,
right?
sure. Just something to get through.
Right. But I kind of look at this drive as the opening credits of an epic movie.
Oh, wow. That's a perfect analogy.
Because it's a scenic buildup. It completely heightens your anticipation. But I want to ask you, does actually taking the time to savor this drive, like really slowing down, does that change how you experience the park once you arrive?
Oh, absolutely. It is 100% vital. Slowing down on that approach puts you in the exact right mindset.
The park mindset.
Yes, you're leaving the frantic everyday hustle behind, and you are synchronizing with the unhurried, natural pace of the wilderness. You have to stop at the Buffalo Bill Dam.
Right, just to stretch your legs.
Well, to stretch your legs, sure, but it is a stunning regional engineering landmark.
It's massive, isn't it?
It is a towering wall of concrete. When it was finished in 1910, it was the tallest dam in the world.
Wow. 1910.
Yeah, and in the spring, the dam is managing all this incredible kinetic energy from the spring meltwater.
So you're basically watching the whole region wake up in real time.
Exactly. You're watching the snow melt before you go up into the park to see where the snow is actually melting.
That is so cool. Okay, so we've got our VIP early access pass, we've had our pancakes, we've admired the dam, and we're finally pulling up to the East Gate.
You are officially entering the park.
Which brings us to the main event, the wildlife.
Oh, the wildlife in early May is just unmatched.
Because it is baby animal season.
It is. May and June are prime times for all these new additions to the ecosystem.
And the absolute stars of the show, in my opinion, are the bison calves.
The red dogs.
Yes, affectionately known as red dogs. For anyone who hasn't seen one, they have this bright, almost reddish-orange fur.
And they are incredibly energetic. They're just zipping around the herds.
But it's not just the bison, right?
No, not at all. You've got black bear cubs emerging from their dens and little wolf pups starting to explore.
Which is just a photographer's dream. But we do need to talk about the golden rule here.
We really do. You have to keep a safe distance.
Always. You want to bring high-quality binoculars or a spotting scope.
Exactly. Let your lenses do the walking.
Absolutely. So we are tracking red dogs and watching bear cubs, but we also need to talk about how we are surviving out there.
Yes, the weather.
Because Packing for a spring trip here seems like a bit of a puzzle.
It can be. It is definitely layer season.
People always say you have to pack for multiple seasons in one day. But I mean, can't I just throw a huge winter coat in the car and call it good?
Oh no, that is the quickest way to be miserable.
Because you'll be sweating at noon and freezing at 4 o'clock.
Exactly. You have to understand that when you're down in Cody, it might be perfectly mild.
Right.
But then you drive up over Sylvan Pass to get into the park, and you are dealing with a completely different atmospheric setup.
High elevation, wintry conditions. So we are fully prepped, dressed for the weather, and we finally pass through the East Gate. Where are we going first?
Well, the immediate highlights right as you come in are just breathtaking.
You've got Sylvan Pass right off the bat.
Yes, these dramatic mountain and forest views. And then you drop down and you see the massive open shorelines of Yellowstone Lake.
Which is so big it creates its own weather system.
It really does. And you also get these classic photo opportunities over at Fishing Bridge.
But here is a really important logistical point for May 1st that we need to talk about.
The road closures.
Right. If you go in early May, you will find that the lower loop of the park is actually closed.
It is. And some people might initially be disappointed by that.
But this is actually, and I really believe this, an incredibly exciting opportunity.
It totally is. Because the lower loop is closed, everyone gets to follow the magnificent North Loop.
Right. It gives you a focused itinerary. Sometimes having fewer road options is a blessing in disguise, you know?
I completely agree.
I mean, does the North Loop essentially act as this brilliant guided tour that forces us to slow down?
That is exactly what it does. When the whole park is open, people try to conquer all 2.2 million acres at warp speed.
They just rush from site to site.
Right, looking at their watches. But the North Loop curates the experience. It is the premier path through the park's early spring wonders.
And ecologically, the North Loop is where all the action is anyway, right?
Oh, absolutely. The northern range is where you see those huge herds following the fresh spring grass.
Which means that's where the predators are going to be too.
Exactly. The wildlife density on the North Loop in May is just spectacular.
But this curated route also means you have to embrace slower travel times.
Yes, you do, because you will inevitably encounter a bison traffic jam.
Oh, the famous Yellowstone traffic jams.
They are a real thing. A herd of bison will just decide the road is a great place to hang out.
You just have to wait.
But that's the thing, a bison traffic jam isn't a delay. It's a feature of the trip.
It's a front row seat to nature.
Right. You turn off the engine, you roll down the windows, and you just get to observe them in their natural habitat.
Which is exactly what we came all this way for anyway.
Exactly. You can't rush nature.
No, you really can't. Okay, so we've had a magnificent day. We've spotted the red dogs. We've driven the North Loop.
If you want to stay right on the edge of the park, there is something very special about early May.
Okay, tell me about the exclusive cabin access.
So a lot of the park lodging opens in phases. For example, the historic Shoshone Lodge isn't open quite yet on May 1st.
Right, it's just a bit too early for them.
But the Pahaska Teepee Resort, which is steeped in history, has select cabins open.
Just select cabins. That is incredible.
It is. It's located just 5 miles from the gate.
I marvel at the exclusivity of that.
It is an incredible early bird perk. You get this private, quiet retreat right in the mountains.
Just you, the whispering pines, and the stars.
Exactly. It's incredibly cozy.
But, you know, the fact that some things like Shoshone Lodge aren't open yet, or that the lower loop is closed, it actually gives you the perfect excuse.
An excuse to come back.
Yes. Because looking ahead, the classic guest ranches and dude ranches are going to open in June.
Right, which shifts the whole vibe of the region.
It completely changes. You get to plan a second, entirely different summer adventure.
So you do the quiet, exclusive wildlife viewing in May, and then you come back for horseback riding and the dude ranch experience in the summer.
It's a win-win.
It really is. The region just keeps giving.
So we've talked about the whole blueprint here. The drive, the red dogs, the North Loop, the cozy cabins.
We covered a lot of ground today.
We did. But I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over.
Okay, what is it?
I want you to challenge yourself to consider how experiencing a landscape before it fully wakes up for the summer rush actually changes your relationship with nature.
Oh, wow. That is a great perspective.
Because when you are standing there in early May and the air is crisp and the crowds aren't there yet.
It feels like a secret.
Exactly. It's a fleeting, intimate moment with the wilderness. It's a secret shared just between you and the park.
And once you experience that, you will want to come back every single spring.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Cody Yellowstone Uncovered.
Catch you later, wild ones.